What we have here is a mechanism from an antique grandfather clock made by the Colonial Manufacturing Company of Zeeland, Michigan. The mechanism was made by Herschede Hall Clock Company of Cincinnati, Ohio. Patent date is 1909. At first you'll notice that this is not a normal grandfather clock movement with 3 weights that does the quarter chiming. This one only has 2. It combines the strike and the chime into one gear train with a system of cams and levers. There's 7 tubes that play 2 different tunes, or chime melodies if you will. It's on Westminster right now, but I'll demonstrate how the chime selection works in a moment. But first I'm going to demonstrate how the chime and the strike combined into one train operates. This cam over here has a spiral groove that runs around twice, and there's a little drop off for it. And inside there you'll see there's a brass gear that has a notch cut in it, and that determines how many times it will strike. So I'm going to advance the minute hand forward, and what you will see is the music roll. That's this piece right here with the pins on it, is going to make another revolution about 9/10 of the way around, and then it's going to shift over to the left, and then these pins over here will engage the hour strike hammer, and it will strike 12 times for 12 o'clock. Now watch carefully what happens when it gets finished. You probably have noticed that there's a pin, you can see it right there, that's on a swinging arm. And that pin follows the groove in that index plate. Now, at quarter past, there's a lever right here on the side, this one right here. That's propelled by a pin on this wheel right here. You can see the pin is starting to engage it. And what will happen is, as the clock moves forward toward quarter past, that pin starts to push that lever, which then pushes the music roll back over to the right. And you'll see that pin on that swinging arm is going to spring back out. There it goes. And then it's going to drop it. Right there. Now the lever is clear, and it's held over by this tension spring right here. And then when we get to quarter past, we're going to get our 4 notes of our first part of the sequence. Then at half past, we get the 2 chords of the sequence. Quarter till we'll get 3 chords. Now, as far as the chime selection, that is done by this lever right here, which is engaged by this lever, which protrudes through the side of the dial. When you move this lever back and forth, it shifts the whole hammer assembly side to side, unlike most 3-train grandfather clocks where it actually moves the whole music roll to a different position. I'm going to switch it to Canterbury and see how that works. That's back to Westminster. Over to Canterbury, it shifts the whole hammer armature assembly over. So now we'll go to 1 o'clock, and since it'll only need to strike one time, the music roll will shift over. We'll get 1 strike from 1 pin, and then the music roll is going to shift to the left again, and the rest of those pins will miss that hammer tail, and it will keep running until it gets to home position. There's our 1 strike, and then it moves over, and the rest of the 11 pins miss that hammer tail, and the mechanism continues to run until the music roll gets back to home position, and then a pin on the music roll lifts that lever and drops down the stepped lever to stop the mechanism. And the index gear that determines the hour strike, that is actuated by a shaft running diagonally that has a bevel gear down there and a miter gear up here. You can see where it engages it right there. And as the clock moves forward, it just slowly turns that gear. Pretty ingenious design, simple but at the same time complex.